Over the years, I've met my fair share of foreign expats or foreigners living in Thailand, and what seems to be a common uniting factor amongst most of them is that they can't speak Thai. 90% of the ones I have met have very little knowledge of the Thai language, if any at all. So my natural curious response is to simply ask, why? What do you think is the major barrier for someone like yourself, a foreigner moving over to Bangkok, to learning the Thai language? What for you is the thing that is the hardest barrier to overcome?
Yeah, for me, the main barrier is just finding time. I mean, you just have to sit down, and I made like 500 note cards, but I've been too lazy or too busy. So, no, I think that's the key thing.
I think maybe it's also because at work, I pretty much get by. Everyone speaks English. Right, maybe if I lived in a different part of Thailand.
I don't want to come across as a greater than thou arsehole, and I'm not saying everyone needs to be an expert. And I also understand that some people live busy lives with work, family, and children commitments. So who am I to judge? But the idea of living in a country for 2, 3, 5, 10, or even 20 years and never understanding what people around you are saying and feeling restricted on where you can go due to your language proficiency is not my idea of a good time. In actual fact, the best experiences and most wild adventures I've had in Thailand wouldn't have been possible without knowing Thai. Learning the native language of whatever country you plan on living in also shows an inherent respect for that place and culture. No one expects perfection, but I think it's fair enough to expect people to have at least a little bit of a go. So with all that said, after some extensive research, data collection, and listening to the honest opinions of foreigners living in Thailand, I have come up with 10 main reasons for why foreign expats never learn Thai. Number 1, laziness. Call me an asshole, but it's definitely the truth. The number 1 reason why expats never learn or cannot learn Thai is laziness. The reality is learning any language takes discipline. It takes time and constant repetition, and Thai is no difference. But is it just laziness, or is it that people have busy lives and have better ways to spend their time? Which leads me on to reason 2, priorities. Thailand is a country that caters for the needs of everyone, from delicious street food, cultural hubs, beautiful nature, fun nightlife, shopping malls galore, and even a restaurant featuring a Santa Claus made entirely out of condoms. So with all that choice in mind, perhaps it's fair enough that people prefer to spend their time doing other things. Many expats lead busy lives and work in international companies that demand a lot of hours. And at the end of a long day, the idea of getting stuck into a Thai dictionary for an hour might seem like a much more boring alternative to going out and eating delicious street food or visiting a condom Santa. Number 3, shyness. Speaking a foreign language, especially when you first start, takes bravery. There is no doubt about that. And being bold enough to make mistakes can often require a complete change of attitude. This is the main reason why I always tend to hold back judgment a bit, because the reality is everyone has different levels of confidence and extroversion. What I would say to the shy person who's wanting to learn Thai who may be watching this video right now is, what is the worst thing that could happen if you say something? And alternatively, what's the worst thing that could happen if you don't? Number 4, the tones.
And then the other thing is the tone. I'll say words like, I work in Nonthaburi, and people go, what are you talking about? Oh, in Nonthaburi, and so my pronunciation's horrible.
It's the tones. I do speak many Indian languages as well, and as well as English and Malay. But the Thai tones are quite subtle.
If I was given $1 for every time I heard someone say, it's the tones, I'd be a very rich man. And to be fair, especially if you've come from a non-tonal language background, distinguishing the differences between the 5 Thai tones can be a little bit tricky and often can result in you saying something with a completely different meaning.
แค่โทนเสียงเฉยๆก็ความหมายเปลี่ยนแล้วอะไรเงี้ยอาจจะยากตรงนี้ใช่ตอนที่ผมอยู่ประเทศไทยผมจะพูดว่าขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์โอเคใช่ขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์นั่นแหละค่ะ
Whilst I acknowledge that some people's ears are naturally more in tune than other people, I think a lot of this difficulty is actually perceived difficulty before even starting and attempting to learn the language, which means people are almost writing themselves off before even starting to learn. Number 5, it's difficult to find local friends to practice with. Another common reason I hear from people is that finding friends in Thailand is very difficult, and even if I do, most of them want to speak English anyway. So, who do I practice with? To be fair, it's a reasonable question, but my answer to that would be to start with a tutor and converse with them until you are in a position where small talk and basic conversation becomes natural. Or alternatively, perhaps spend some time in an area of Thailand where English is not widely spoken. Number 6, no financial benefit. One of the more aggressive reasons that comes up when you talk to people about this subject is that there is no financial benefit in learning Thai. In international companies and in business, most people are communicating in English, and even starting to use a few Thai words may change the power dynamic. Now, whether learning Thai has any financial benefit or not would probably differ case by case, but does every decision in life have to be motivated by money? Number 7, the expat bubble. Bangkok is truly an international city. That is partly what makes it so charming. The majority of foreign residents reside in Bangkok, and for most people, there is usually a cultural hub where your native language is spoken and where your people live. There are Middle Eastern quarters, Indian communities, Japanese areas, plenty of Western bars and cafes, and realistically, if you lived in Bangkok, you'd be able to get by pretty easily without using any Thai. And for some people who may work in international companies or government agencies that force them to move country every couple of years, they might see learning a new language every time as not worth the effort or a complete waste of time. Number 8, no interest in engaging with Thai culture or people. Some foreigners in Thailand I have met over the years spend most of their time complaining about Thailand, Thai culture, and the habits of Thai people. After 10 years of not spending a single ounce of energy into trying to understand the language, the cultural differences, and perspectives of locals, they have decided that the Thai language battle is not even an arena worth stepping into. These people actively avoid anything remotely Thai and have grown to strongly dislike the country, even though they're living there. Number 9, Thailand is an inferior country. If you were to take a sample size of foreigners living in, say, wealthier Asian countries like Japan or Korea, I would put $1,000 on the fact that a significant amount more people would be able to speak Japanese or Korean. Now, perhaps it's the type of people that different countries attract, but a part of me still thinks that people look down on Southeast Asian countries like Thailand and see it as a slightly inferior, developing place with a language not worth learning. Sadly, whether it's explicit or just a slight bias, I have definitely seen this mindset in people coming from both Western and Eastern countries. Number 10, you can only be what you can see. When I first lived in Thailand in 2014, I met a young Englishman who, although I found out later to be a pathological liar, his Thai language skills were seriously impressive. Now, although I don't 100% agree with the statement you can only be what you can see, there is definitely something to be said about having role models or people in your life that have been on similar journeys to you, that give you a sense of self-belief. If you were to move to Thailand and every foreigner around you told you the Thai language is too difficult and it's not worth learning, you'd probably give up on the spot. Sometimes it just takes one person to change your whole perspective. Anyway guys, that's it for the 10 reasons why most expats living in Thailand never learn Thai. If you have any other opinions or hate comments, make sure to leave them down below. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you guys very soon. เจอกัน